late. I think I was in the middle of playing my game and I was like, he's got to be joking with me. Like, this can't be accurate. And then I was like, I was like, if John made this artwork, I was like, this is really, really good. And then I was like, no, I think this is legit, but I didn't hear anything about it until you posted about it.
Right. And so let me just give some context of where the story first got reported from, give you guys some context behind it. Then after that, we're going to break this thing down. So here's the thing. The Hollywood Reporter reported this. Lady Gaga's early talks to star opposite of Joaquin Phoenix. So it's not actually 100% that she's actually going to be Harley, but she's in talks. And usually it takes a while for them to actually set up the contracts and the deals and the negotiations. So anything could happen. That's one thing about Hollywood. Anything can happen at any given moment. So it could change. Even the plot line itself, it may not be a musical by the time they're done with everything, but it could very well be a musical. But there's also this context, though, too. Phillips has been writing the script with Joker co-writer Scott Silver for some time and has finally shown it to the studio. Last week, Phillips revealed on social media that the title of the new project is Joker Folie Dios. I think that's how you say that. I'm not good at French. But referencing a medical term for the identical or similar mental disorder that affects two or more individuals, usually members of the same family. And while the same social media post showed Phoenix reading the script, the actor's involvement is not exactly a fait accompli just yet. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that Warner's has yet to close the deal with the actor, with the two sides deep into it. Then the Hollywood Reporter went on to say, details on, and then here we go, entering Gaga. Details on her character are being kept under wraps, but Joker is known for his on-off abusive relationship with Harley Quinn, his psychiatric at the Arkham Asylum mental institution, who falls in love with him and becomes his sidekick and partner in crime. It is unclear whether Phillips and company are using other DC characters or striking out on their own, as they did in many instances with the first movie. If a deal makes Gaga would play Quinn, however, this new Quinn exists in a different DC universe than Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, who most recently appeared in 2021's The Suicide Squad, as well as several other films. But wait, that's not all. Sources say that the sequel is also a musical.
That's
a
huge statement to make. Like, that's not saying a musical. That's a huge statement to make. That's either the biggest con and they're playing us super hard. Either they told somebody, like, give this to them, say it's a musical, or you have a vision, my friend. I don't know, but that's where I'm like, okay, what? Rewind that musical, because that's a musical's hard to do in alone.
Especially, well, on top of that, putting into a DC film and doing a musical like that, all I want is Robert Pattinson to come out on screen and sing Vengeance. That's all I want with the scoring in the background.
I'm just like, that's a really big statement. And then I kind of feel, like I said, I was just talking about this with West Side Story. And I was like, we've seen that. I mean, obviously that's a remake, but that's still very hard to do. That's still very hard to choreograph. And I was just BSing about it on Snapchat. I was just like, doing a musical. And it's not like I'm a theater aficionado or anything, but it's like, I know to throw some respect on that. So I know that's a very hard thing to do. And I'm like, what? That we're having a hard enough time as is keeping fans happy. So now let's throw the theater on top of it. Let's throw the musical theater ambition on top of it. It's
ballsy, but also too, at the same time, I'm like, I'm not one for musicals. Unless you count Sweeney Todd and maybe a couple of other dark musicals that I like.
I was going to say, I think mine are like, my mom's not a huge musical person, but the ones I grew up on, I really like The Music Man, but I just think that's nostalgia. And I'm like, I'm not a huge musical person. I'm not. And somebody the other day was just yelling at me for not watching Hamilton. So you guys can yell at me down in the comments for that too. I need to catch up on that.